Today I'm going to be reviewing the Ninja Foodi Max. I've read the manual and I'm going to try cooking a chicken, roasting some vegetables and making some cakes.
Sick of wasting your time and money trying to find the right product? Honest to God product testing to the rescue. Discover real reviews and support community projects. Let's shop smart together.
Okay, so I'm going to cook a chicken, roast some vegetables, bake some cakes. Then I'm going to show you my personal favourite things to cook in the Ninja. I'll show you briefly how it works and we'll just review as we go along. Conclusion at the end. Let's just jump straight in and talk about the chicken. I was concerned about cooking a chicken in the Ninja because I know that when the chicken splashes at the element, you're talking stinky kitchens. But it didn't do that with a Ninja, so I was really chuffed about that. The recipe wanted me to cook a chicken 1.3 kilos, but mine was 1.6, so I just chopped some off to accommodate. Even though I followed the recipe exactly with the timings and the temperature, the chicken won't cook properly. I used a thermometer and everything and all that came out good, but it was still pink in places, and so I ended up having to carve it and then recook that some more, so that did not impress me too much. And then also the vegetables came out a bit burnt. The temperature was clearly too high and the time was too short, so what I should have done is not blindly follow the recipe, but I should have adjusted it myself. But, you know, it's the first time. So I'm making chocolate orange gluten-free muffins. The recipe was from the Ninja's own website. There was like a topping to this, but it was made with cream cheese and it tasted pretty rank, so I didn't put it in. I'm trying to keep these videos as short as possible, and to be honest, I'm not finding this the easiest thing to do, you know, videoing of all the food and all of the editing that comes with that. It seems to be an art, or it's just going to take a bit more work. Maybe I'll come back to that one another time. Anyway, okay, so the ones on the left are the ones that I cooked in the oven. They're fairly rounded, and these ones came out of the Ninja, weirdly shaped and oddly shiny. So let's cut them open and compare them. The top one's obviously the Ninja, and the bottom one's the oven. The one that was cooked in the Ninja looks a bit dense and flat, and the one that was cooked in the oven looks far fluffier and, in my opinion, tasted better. Although my neighbour tried them both and her opinion was complete opposite. She felt like the ones that were done in the Ninja tasted better. You'd have to make your own decision. My absolute favourite things to cook in here are sausages and chips, because they cook so very thoroughly and completely over the entire surface. If you cook in the oven, you're always going to be burning certain bits of the chips, certain parts of the sausage. The sausages taste better in the Ninja. The chips taste better in the Ninja. Okay, so we're switching it on there. This is the way that I mainly use it. So number one, obviously, is this drawer. Number two is this drawer. This is the main thing. You can have max crisp, air fry, roast, bake, reheat, dehydrate. I always choose the air fry. And to put the chips on, I would normally put it on for 14 or 15 minutes. And then you set the temperature. I always do 180 degrees C. And then you can just press the button and it'll start, or you can press match and it'll pop up the other side. So if you want to put chicken fillets or anything in the other side, it will work that way as well. And you just press that and off we go. I'm just going to show you these Ninja liners. I use them when I'm cooking this kind of veg. I choose to do it this way because it's less mess. The downside is if you don't put enough at each end of the paper, it kind of curls right over. I'm impressed that the Ninja can cook vegetables, but I have to say that when you cook them in the oven, they taste just that bit better, maybe 10-15% better when they're roasted in the oven. I'm going to continue to use the liner in the air fryer for my mushrooms and tomatoes, purely because it's convenience that means I don't have to wash the Ninja out as much. But that's just what works for me. I found it quite convenient when I use it to make hot dogs, because I put sausages on the left drawer without any liner in. And then on the right-hand side drawer, put the chopped onions with a load of fry light. And once I cooked them, the family were on the way home, and I wanted to sit down and eat before they arrived. It just meant that I could just bang it on for 2 minutes. I will not be using the Ninja to make cakes. I didn't like them. I thought they were weird, the fact that they were shiny and a bit... You can actually dehydrate with the Ninja, but I did spend a bit of time researching it, and I saw the stuff that people putting in it, like onions and orange slices and that, and people were using them to stock up their jars, and then they would use them alongside the cooking. There was a woman who had issues with onion. She couldn't have onion powder because of something in the onion powder. So in that instance, I can see why she would want to dehydrate the onions and use actual onions. I can't see the point of wasting 6 to 8 hours of electricity dehydrating anything, so I won't be bothering with that either. And chickens, I won't cook a chicken in there again. I would say a small chicken will be fine in there, but it will be pointless me doing that because there's 5 of us, and one small chicken I'm not sure would do me. I know this one's been a bit long, but I hope that you got something out of it. I'm glad that I checked it out with you, and until the next time.